All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive. This time we're going to be talking about something you guys sent in,
Okay.
which is this website called Arbits.
Oh,
And
nice.
I think it's pretty clear from the name what
Yeah.
they're all about.
Sounds like arbitrage betting.
Arbitrage betting, but they also talk a lot about
Mm-hmm.
value bets,
Mm.
and so they claim to have
Okay.
kind of figured out how to beat the system when it comes to sports betting.
Mm.
And I think we can all relate to that feeling of like, oh,
Oh,
is this another one of those like
another
get
case?
rich quick schemes?
Yeah, if it sounds too good to be true,
Exactly.
it probably is.
Yeah. And so that's what we're going to try to figure out today.
Okay.
Is it too good to be true? Or is there actually something to what they're saying?
Okay.
So we were sent a bunch of stuff to look at about Arbits.
Mm-hmm.
We've got their website. We've got like some articles that have been written about them, some YouTube videos.
Oh, wow. So quite a bit of material.
Yeah. So we're going to be going through all of that, trying to figure out what is Arbits, what do they actually offer, and
legit.
So
sounds good. Let's dive in.
let's do it. So right off the bat, when you go to their website, you see a couple things that jump out at you.
Okay.
They have this dashboard that they're really proud of where they're analyzing odds from like all these different sports books.
Mm-hmm.
They've got this AI chatbot thing.
Oh, wow.
Called a sports betting assistant. So very
Fancy.
buzzwordy.
Yeah, definitely appealing to the zeitgeist.
Totally. And then one of the other things that they really emphasize is
Right.
player props.
So player props.
I don't know how familiar you are with sports betting, but player props are
I am.
bets that are specific to a player's performance.
Okay, got it.
So it's not just betting on who's going to win the game.
Yeah.
But like,
Right.
how many touchdowns is this player going to score? How many yards is this player going to rush it? Things like that. So they say that they found like a way to find value in player props.
Okay.
And then the last thing that they kind of tout right on their homepage is that they cover over 200 sports books worldwide.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. So like at first glance,
Yeah.
sounds pretty impressive, right?
Yeah, no, it definitely sounds like they've got a lot going on.
Yeah.
But like we were saying,
Yeah.
we got to dig a little deeper and see what's really
Exactly. So let's start with this idea of arbitrage betting,
Okay.
because I think that's kind of the foundation of what they're claiming to do.
Yeah, and it's a real thing.
Yeah.
It's not just a made-up term.
Right.
It's a legitimate concept in the world of gambling.
So can you explain how arbitrage betting works?
Sure. So arbitrage betting is basically the idea of exploiting discrepancies
Okay.
in the odds that different sports books offer. So you're looking for situations where one sports book might have slightly better odds on one outcome and another sports book has slightly better odds on the other outcome.
Okay.
And if you do it right,
Yeah.
you can actually place bets on both sides of that outcome and guarantee yourself a profit no matter who wins.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, in theory.
In theory, right?
It's like a sure thing.
Yeah.
But the reality is these opportunities are incredibly rare and they disappear very quickly.
Okay.
Because sports books are very sophisticated these days. They're using algorithms.
Right.
They're constantly monitoring the market.
Right.
And they adjust their odds accordingly.
So if there was like a huge discrepancy, it would be gone.
Like instantly.
Yeah.
Second.
Milliseconds, right?
Milliseconds. Wow. Okay, so Arbets is claiming to be able to find like thousands of these sure bets every day.
Right.
So are they. Are they full of it?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible that they have some very sophisticated algorithms
that are able to identify these opportunities faster than anyone else.
Yeah.
But I think it's healthy to be skeptical.
Yeah, especially because they're not just talking about arbitrage betting.
Right. They also talk about value betting.
Right. So how does that play into this?
So value betting is a little bit different
Okay.
than arbitrage betting.
Okay.
With value betting, you're not necessarily looking for guaranteed profits.
Okay.
You're looking for bets where the odds that are offered are better than what you believe the true probability of the outcome is.
Okay. So you're like doing your own analysis and you're saying, okay, I think this team actually has like a 60% chance of winning.
Right.
But the sports books are giving odds. That implied that they only have like a 40% chance of winning.
So you're finding that discrepancy between your perceived probability and the probability that the sports books are offering.
Got it.
And that difference, that's your edge. That's where you're hoping to make your profit.
So even with value betting, there's no guarantee.
There's no guarantee, no.
Okay.
Because you could be wrong.
Right.
About your assessment of the probability.
Yeah, and upsets happen all the time.
Upsets happen all the time. Players get injured.
Right.
Things happen that you can't predict.
Exactly. So they're kind of...
So it's a riskier proposition.
Yeah, they're kind of mixing these two ideas.
They're kind of blurring the lines a little bit.
Yeah.
Between arbitrage and value betting. And I think that's where some of the skepticism comes in.
Okay. And then we get to the testimonials.
Ah.
Right. So we all see testimonials on websites.
Of course. Yeah, every website has testimonials.
Are we supposed to believe these?
Well, you know, testimonials can be tricky.
Yeah.
Because you never know if they're cherry-picking the best ones, if they're making them up.
Exactly.
It's hard to verify their authenticity.
Yeah, there's this one. Testimonial from this math teacher.
Oh, yeah, I saw one.
Chris Lee, who says that.
Yeah.
He made like $2,500.
Yeah, turned $1,200 into $2,500.
Yeah, just by using our bets and like...
Yeah, just using pre-match arbitrage, they said?
Yeah, so what is pre-match arbitrage?
So that just means that you're finding those arbitrage opportunities before the game starts.
Yeah.
As opposed to like live betting where you're betting during the game.
Got it. So it's like, that's their bread and butter. That's what they...
That seems to be their main focus, yeah.
Yeah, so again, like, are you to believe this guy?
I mean, it's possible that he had some success. Yeah. But again, you know, it's just one person's story.
Right.
You don't know how many people tried it and failed.
Yeah, and we don't.
Yeah.
Know if they're just making it up.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so then...
So there's a lot of question marks around those testimonials.
Yeah, for sure. And then there was one other thing that I noticed on their website.
Yeah.
That kind of made me raise an eyebrow.
What's that?
They have this disclaimer.
Oh, yeah, the disclaimer.
That says, this site is 100% for informational purposes only.
Uh-huh.
And does not involve real money betting.
Right.
That's what that's all about.
I mean, it seems like they're trying to protect themselves.
Yeah.
Legally, you know? And if people are using their information to place bets and they lose money, they can say, hey, we told you this was just for information.
You don't come crying to us.
Exactly. Don't blame us. Yeah. So that's a little bit of a red flag as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So where does that leave us? Like... What's the takeaway here?
Well, I think the takeaway is that while the concepts of arbitrage betting and value betting are real, and they can be legitimate ways to potentially make money, it's a lot more complicated than Arbitz makes it seem.
Yeah.
And you have to be very careful. You have to do your own research. You have to be very skeptical of these kinds of promises of easy money.
Right. Because, like you said earlier, it sounds too good to be true.
Yeah, it probably is.
It probably is.
Yeah, and if Arbitz really had cracked the code, and they could guarantee these profits, why would they be selling it to other people?
Exactly.
Why wouldn't they just be using it themselves and making millions of dollars?
Yeah, that's a great point.
So I think the message here is, be careful. Do your research, be skeptical, and remember that there are no guarantees in gambling.
Exactly.
If there were, we'd all be rich.
We'd all be rich.
Right.
Great advice. Thanks for walking us through this deep dive.
Of course. Happy to help.
And thanks to all of you for sending in our bets as something for us to take a look at. We'll see you next time for another deep dive.
Sounds good.